Okay, not quite sure how this happened, but let's see here. Sorry, folks. There we go. Slideshow. Okay, so what happened is that I said this before at least once, that radio programs actually, in many cases, they just flipped the whole program right into TV. Of course, they had to build a set and hire actors that looked like they should look, and it cost them a lot more in production, because that's one big difference between radio and TV. But they did it. Game shows, comedy shows, dramas, music shows. And that's kind of how things went. So what was left for radio? What was left for radio? Well, with the advent of the 50s, after World War II, in the 50s, in the mid-50s, late 50s, something cropped up on the cultural scene called popular music, and eventually called rock and roll. And radios migrated to automobiles, which we're going to talk about in a second. Transistor radios were invented, so teenagers could have their music with them all day. You know, really like the iPods, etc. of today, but those early transistor radios didn't have headphones. But you could put it up to your ear and, you know, blast it away. And these were handheld devices, these little portable radios. I had one I used to, you know, when we lived in St. Louis, I was sent off to bed. You know, this is when I'm in 6th, 7th, 8th grade. But as soon as I could, I had my transistor radio and I'd turn on, you know, KXOK in St. Louis and listen to Johnny Rabbit, the DJ, play the latest hits and do funny, goofy, sometimes, you know, slightly risque things, etc. But anyway, rock music, rock and roll music. And now just a little taste of rock and roll music. Actually, in this case, not on the radio, but something you can watch. This is Elvis Presley. During his beginning and prime, you know, he was this kind of hip-grinding performer, raw performer, taking a lot of African-American music, basically, and putting it into the mainstream, becoming a huge star. This was an early film he did called, and the song is Jailhouse Rock. I'm going to play it because I happen to think that the dance is terrific. So is the music. And Elvis is that guy on the right there. He's definitely not the chubby guy. Looks like he's 50 years old, ready to swing. Elvis is that cool dude in front on the right. And now I'm going to stop this, and I really think you ought to watch the whole thing of Jailhouse Rock and see how good that is and how good Elvis is and how good a dancer he is.